agenda as printed with necessary changes. We are now down to item 3, departmental reports. Superintendent.
Thank you, Ms. Schoenberg, members of the board for braving the bad weather today to get out here to do the business of children. Thank you so much. The first departmental report that I can do tonight, we do understand that parents are cognizant of the fact that we're going to start school a little bit earlier this year, and that any questions regarding student handbook, student dress code, etc., may have come up. Very minimal changes to what we experienced last year. We want to announce that. Very minimal changes that we will make a recommendation to the board on. So I'm going to ask Dr. Mason, who has worked with all of our administrators, to come forward this time and to provide the school board and the community with just a little bit of some of the items that have been discussed.
Good evening.
Good evening.
Good evening. There are only a few with our high school handbook. For board members, it's the manila folder. If you would look at the first handbook, it would say secondary. And we can start at page 18. It talks about unexcused absences. All changes will be highlighted in yellow. On page 18, it talks about the changes were written notes will not be accepted after 48 hours of absence. Page 41 in the secondary or either the high school handbook. It talks about the dress code. The high school says spirit shirts may be worn on Fridays only. Now, let me say this. This is a first read. It's a draft, and this is a first read only. No actions will be taken tonight. This is just the first read only. The next item says sports bag must be clear or mesh. Sports bag must be clear or mesh. That's just a proposal. Page 44 of the high school handbook. It talks about appeal of suspension decisions and due process. All requests or all appeals must be made in writing. That's just a proposal. Page 48 of the high school handbook talks about unacceptable behaviors. And on page 48, you will see all the items that were added to the unacceptable behavior on the discipline ladder. Those are the items that the high school added. And the last item, page 56, talks about the cell phone. The offenses changed. The first offense is 3 days in ISS. The second offense is 30 days of parent guardian will pay, or a parent or guardian will pay an administrative handling fee of $25. The third offense, 60 days, or the parent will pay $50. So those are the handbook proposal changes for our high school. Our middle school and our elementary schools and our staff handbook, there were not any changes. Do you all have any questions? Thank you. Oh, you all can call me if you have any other questions. It's on page 56, it's the secondary high school book. Look at page 56. You have the secondary, the high school book. Turn to page 56. Those are the proposed changes.
So they can't be synced?
Yes, ma'am.
So if they bring it to school, as long as they keep it hidden, huh?
Yes, ma'am.
Why bring?
Ms. Munn, the policy has already been written. Thank you. This is just the first read, so if you have anything that you wanted to talk to Superintendent Haynes about, we can do that later. Thank you.
It was a question, Madam President.
Okay, that's the superintendent's answer.
That's your answer.
Ma'am?
That's your answer, not the superintendent?
No, you asked her about bringing, that's the
Right.
superintendent's question.
Right,
I
I referred to him. I was pretty much thinking out loud.
That one saying it was my answer. Okay, you ready?
Yes, ma'am.
All righty. We are now down. Do you have any more departmental reports? Superintendent?
What's the next one? I'd like to move on to, I want to thank you all. That is just, we're still working on that. So what I will say to parents is that we are listening. You all have at a forum at the end of the year. I do want to remind parents it was widely advertised. We would have a parent meeting. We had that meeting in the auditorium. You all were asked to give input, and that input is going squarely into what we're going to do with the student handbook. It's not my school, or not just the board, schools. It is our school, but we hope that in the end we will have a document that the board will first agree on after some carving, and then the parents will be able to come on, and then that the parents will support, so that the student will. We don't want to lose one day of instruction this year, not one day, because of a dress code or cell phone issue. That's my goal. My goal is not to lose not one day of instruction because of cell phone or dress code issue.
All right.
Madam President, that is the only departmental report that I have tonight.
All right. We're now down to item 4. This was a first read, therefore we will not have to adopt that, correct? That is a report, but we're not adopting it because it was a first read. No, yes. I'm looking at our time. Yes? It's just a first read, so we don't have to adopt that. Okay. All right. So we're now down to item 4. Do I have a motion to approve item 4?
Good afternoon. I stand for you to give you our TSI report for the month of June. Prayerfully, this will be the last time that Carver has to stand before you to be in school improvement. I pray so. The first page, the data did not change since our third 9 weeks data. We are waiting for our MAP scores to come in, and prayerfully they will be great. For the month of May, our total enrollment was 259. Our total ADA for the month of May was 94.39%. The percentage of students with 2 or more absences for the month of May was 24%. Teacher attendance rate was 50%, and the total number of discipline referrals were 5. Everything else stayed the same. We are in summer school. We have 3 different programs going. We have Save the Children, our ARP, and an MDE. So we still have vacancies for anyone that wants to attend K through 5. And we have Kinder Boost coming up starting on June 14th.
The teacher attendance rate, you said it's a percentage or number of days?
like, that's receiving 50%. Well, number of days, that's the number of days, number of days.
50% of teachers are out. I'm like, whoa.
Number of days, number of days.
Thank you for clarification.
That's
Thank you.
All right. Alrighty, we are now down to item 5, presentation by Miss Kimberly Poole Biggs.
Good evening.
Good evening.
Hope everyone is well. I am Kimberly Biggs, the founder of From Prison to Purpose, Mississippi, and I've been here before with a presentation about my curriculum for personal mapping, conflict resolution, and violence interruption. So I've done a presentation before about what that curriculum looks like, what it consists of. So I'm back today to ask for calendar days for the upcoming school year to be able to actually be able to implement and impact that curriculum to our youth and also to our community. That curriculum will consist of 40 calendar days within the working school year. I have those calendar days outlined if you guys would like to know those days. Those days will start, I think y'all go back to school July 24th, 25th, 24th. Okay. So we will be looking at 4 days per month. I have suggested every Monday, weekday. I don't know how we would work it as far as classroom space, but I would need completely that whole day to effectively present that and have it to be effective with our students. And so I would ask for 4 days per month. The first session would be August through December. That's other 20 sections will come in the beginning of the next school term, starting in January after the holidays. I would ask for 20 more days, starting January 3rd, coming back into the school every Monday as the same 4 day until the ending of the school term. That will be 40 working curriculum days to implement that curriculum to the whole school, the student body from 9th grade through 12th grade. So I did come into the school and speak, do a kind of life coaching session with them because I did have the days to actually present that in the school body. With them doing testing so late in the school year, it was kind of hard to kind of redirect those times that we were kind of scheduling for beforehand. And so I did get a chance to do a motivational coaching couple days sessions with the 11th graders and the graduates that graduated this past term. And I think it was very effective. The students participated well with the icebreakers, with the surveys and the question and answers. And then I used a lot of time to just kind of work with the 12th graders with answering questions about how they felt with coming out of school, coming out of high school, going into their new appointed lives, whether it's college, trades, or even going to work, kind of talking and coaching with them about what to expect and how to get the things that you're expecting out of life and how that could be very impactful for them. You know, listening to someone who had made a ton of mistakes, but still made it okay with the grace of God. So coming back to be able to share that and also give them the building tools that they need to be successful to go out there. You're gonna have problems, you're gonna face problems, you're gonna have disappointments. You're not gonna agree all the time with everything, but learning how to really map that thing out, kind of make dialects, make dialogues, you know, to be successful regardless, and learn how to handle those things when they're faced with those things. And I think it worked out well. I've seen a lot of the students before they graduated, a few of them after they graduated, and they still asking questions. And some of them have my information with calling me on the phone if they need to talk to me about some things about college preparation. Some of them called me about taking some classes that we had through forklift training over at JC. Then I had some others. My daughter was doing some lash training for a few ladies that wanted to enter into the entrepreneurial world. So that's what we want to be able to do here. We want to be able to just look outside, not just education. We want to be able to offer those trades. We want to be able to offer those budget and life skill training. We want to be able to get them ready for what's out there in this world. And that's all I have.
Okay. All righty. Any questions or concerns? Go ahead.
Yes. I know we have another item on the agenda that's probably exactly what she was just talking about. Is that correct?
I mean, that was just from last, when we approved last year. She's coming back to the board to talk about this upcoming school.
So you tell me the item further down is nothing to do with what we just talked about?
Give me the item you talked about. Talk about the item that's in the claims document.
No, way down, it was just added to the agenda today, late this afternoon.
Oh, wait. It was in,
Item
it was supposed to be removed from
12.
5 shouldn't have been there. I don't think. So that's the same. 5 and 12 is the same. I missed that. Correct?
I'm confused, but 12 is I'm sorry, the 12 is the contract for 3 days. And she's talking about 40 days. Agreed. It has, some superintendent would have to bring to us as part of the curriculum. I'm confused. Maybe I'm the only one.
From there. Okay. All right, so clarification. Item 12 was the 3 days that was already presented that we approved. We approved 3 days, but she only did 2. Okay? Because of the tight schedule for last year. We had already approved it, so we have to approve the contract for item 12.
We'll get to that in a
The 40 days.
Because that's all confusing as well.
Exactly. The 40 days is something that was just presented tonight.
And so he has to put that.
He has to ask for 40 days. She just proposed.
No, I
40 days.
understand.
So
we don't need
if
to do
the
anything.
district doesn't, right, if the district doesn't want 40 days or doesn't need 40 days, that would be up to the
That's
district
something
to
he's got
decide.
to go back and see.
That would have to go through a whole lot of different departments.
Right.
Okay.
So that's nothing we're going to do.
Right.
Okay.
Okay.
And what are we going to do with it as far as it being on? It was just for discussion.
It's just for
Discussion.
discussion. Nothing to be voted on.
But just a presentation.
Right. It's just a presentation.
All right, that's what I want to make sure. That's what I want to make sure. So,
Okay,
that's
just
right.
the presentation, we're not voting on anything tonight. Just
Talk about 12.
presenting to come back.
We'll get to 12 when we get to 12.
There you go. All right, so we're now down to item 6, recognitions.
Yes, ma'am. Thank you. Thank you, and thank the board.
Ms. Lewis.
And so, we have a lot to talk about when we get to the superintendent's report. But there are 2 individuals that I want to point out tonight that have done a super job. Now, nobody in our district can say that they're doing 100%. But I do want to take a moment tonight to recognize 2 of our 2-man maintenance team. They worked really hard on the lead up to graduation. And I thought that they had all of the school's premises looking really, really good, and so they worked really hard. And they did have to accrue a little overtime in that process, but I do want to make sure that they know that the superintendent appreciates the job that they're doing, that they yet do. They have a really good attitude about their work. They follow Jaguar way, and it's just really a pleasure to work with those two people. So tonight, with the help of the board, I would like to recognize our two-man maintenance team. They will be given this as well as a gift card as well. And I'd like to recognize Mr. Dwayne Hathorn and also Mr. Jefferson Drummond. They are working really, really hard. I'd like the board and our community to know that, and for them to get this pat on the back, this goodwill gesture on behalf of the board and the superintendent, let them know how much we appreciate their hard work. So if you all could just join me in recognizing Mr. Dwayne Hathorn and also Mr. Jefferson Drummond. They are two-person maintenance team, and they've done a really good job. So let's give them a round of applause. And we'll make sure Dr. McLeod and Ms. Lottie, we get them into the office tomorrow so they can pick up their certificate and also a gift card recognizing them for a job well done. Unless Dr. Hilton has any other recognitions tonight, that will end the recognition period at this time.
All right. We are now down to item 7, approval of financial update, financial statements.
Good evening. We'll briefly go over the financial statements for the end of May. All bank reconciliations are reconciled. A district balance sheet and cash flow were included in your packet. Statement of income as of the end of May, we received $24.9 million of the $32.1 million that we anticipate to get to the end of the fiscal year. The budget status report as of May, with May representing 85% of our fiscal year. District maintenance received 91% and expended 87%. 1130 is our exceptional ed. We received 75% of the revenue and expended 75%. 1145 is our at-risk. We received 79% and expended 79%. 2711 is our vocational. We received 27% and expended, 87% and expended 87%. The cash balance statement as of the end of May is $4.1 million. We had a decrease of $2.4 million, which is the transfer from district to our J. Johnson project. All the other cash balances that are negative are all reimbursable federal programs except 2916. In our 16th section, as of the end of May, our total cash and investment is $32 million. We had a decrease of $228,000. That was because of the transfers to pay the different one-time activities that we had. Our fund balance as of the end of May is $4,337,843.56. Again, we had a decrease due to the transfer of the J. Johnson project and the different other one-time projects that we have going on. And again, the negative fund balances are all reimbursable federal programs except 2916. Did anybody have any questions in regards to the financial statements that were placed in your packet? The update for the audit has been complete. All the field work is complete. The auditor notified me today that they will be mailing out the audit reports and will be completing the federal audit clearinghouse on Friday. The other item that I have is just to let you know the status of our
insurance for next year. This is what we're looking at. Just wanted you all to be apprised of our insurance costs. Last year we paid $306,000 for insurance because of the tornadoes. Insurance is affected all across the state. So we're looking at a $219,000 increase in insurance. So far, this is the one bid that we have. They're working on another completing the other bid from Liberty, who we had last year. We have to buy down the deductible for wind and hail damage. So that's the additional cost, and that's, of course, the whole state is impacted because of those tornadoes they had in North Mississippi. And that $219,000 is not in the budget, so that would be some additional cost in our budget, and I just have to go back and revise it once I get once we approve the vendor that we'll go with for insurance. But that's just the information that I have now. Any questions?
I just got a statement. Go ahead. I'm sorry.
Is it possible we could offset that by increasing, I'm sure you probably know, increasing our deductible?
Well, the deductible they're looking at is $250,000 already, and that's what we're trying to buy down. As you can look in your packet, those are the deductibles that they're offering. The property right now is $10,000, so that means each occurrence we have to pay $10,000, and then they pick up the cost. But if we have wind and damage right now without buying it down, we would have to pay $250,000 per site per occurrence. So that means if it took out all of our buildings, we have to pay $250. So that's what we're trying to buy down. And like I said, it's all over the state.
Ms. Copeland, you didn't tell them what the audit found.
Oh, I don't have the completed results until we get it in hand. We had a good audit. It's the whole district working together, trying to make it happen, especially the ladies in the finance department. So we had a good audit again this year. Any other questions?
And I did receive, thank you, Ms. Cole, for that report. I did receive a letter from the state auditor's office stating that we did receive a good report on our finances.
All righty, we are now down to item 8, superintendent's report. We got 4.
Well, I'll be as brief as I can. It's kind of hard to be as enthusiastic as I usually am when we've got a report like that from my insurance company. But one of the things I will point out, Ms. Copeland, as experienced as she is in those doings, did add about $80,000 because she did think that there would be an uptick in our insurance premium, but it just went way beyond. And I think that from the superintendents that I talked to, that they've experienced a similar uptick in their premium, and that is a direct result of the tornado that tore through Rolling Fork, etc. And the straight line of wind today out there. So it's just hard to get. We want to scour earth almost to try to find the best premium. We're working with Mississippi School Boards Association as well, try to get some type of insurance for our district closer to what we budgeted. That will be the goal. But we must have our buildings and our newly renovated buildings insured. And so I do want the board to understand that is the process. We must have insurance. That's where we are, and the insurance companies set the rate. I want to first again, say congratulations to the dynamic class of 2023. We had once again we sent out into the world a dynamic, very talented group of seniors that will make us all proud. They have various talents. They're multi-talented. They're going to impact the world in all fields of human endeavor. And I just can't wait to see all of the great things they're going to do and accomplish on behalf of their families, their community, and most importantly themselves. I thought we had a very classy graduation, well attended, up into thousands of people that waited to come, and we do appreciate all of the outpouring support that our community did provide with the class of 2023. We're concerned about at one time about the weather, but the good Lord shined on us, and we were able to have maybe one raindrop, I remember, but not much more than that. And so once again, congratulations to the dynamic class of 2023. To update the school board right now in community, we are in the midst of having summer school, and as I remarked to one of our principals, whenever the doors open, and we are working with kids, it is serious business. And I want to thank the teachers for taking that type of Jaguar way attitude. I want to thank the bus drivers who signed up in the summer to work. That is a chore. We have a bus driver shortage during regular school year. We have a bus driver shortage during summer school. And I want to once again take this opportunity to encourage anyone who has the CDL license to come forward and help our kids. We need bus drivers. We need bus drivers. I want to thank parents who have I've witnessed dropping kids off at campus, assisting us in making sure. I don't know if it's because of the grocery bill that they're so hastily bringing the kids up there or not, but they are bringing the kids up to campus for summer school. I want to thank them for that partnership, and the students that are attending. Many of the kids have their mind made up that they're going to use this time to get better, to be remediated, and to be enriched. And I want to thank them for having that goal of improvement and showing up at school to do so. To members of our community, I want you all to join me in thanking God and the Jefferson Davis County Board of Trustees, because it is truly a metamorphosis, a miracle taking place at Johnson. So that we owe it all to God and the Jefferson Davis County Board of Trustees. It is unbelievable already, the transformation that's taking place there. There are some pictures that I've shown today. Asphalt was actually laid there. If you walk in the hallways now, there is blue and gray prevalent. It already looks really, really good. Met with the contractor today, and so every safety feature that could be in that building is taking place. And so I think we're on our way to being ready for school there on July 24. And once again, we thank God and Jeff Davis, the Board of Trustees, for the remarkable work that's taking place at Johnson Elementary, and look forward to opening and being able to show the new features and upgrades and safety, and also in cameras, which I'll talk about in just a minute. But it's truly, and I said to the board, I think I've gotten at least 30 messages from parents, and I say to them publicly what I said privately. Thank God and the board for that. Ingle Shipbuilding, we had a meeting last week. I want to thank Dr. Hilton for coordinating that. We are actively seeking to improve opportunities in this district. We're not concerned about being a coastal school district. We could care less about our proximity to Ingle Shipbuilding. We understand that there are kids here that need apprenticeship, and we understand that there are kids here that may end up being a viable candidate to work at Ingle. And so we are pushing for a partnership with Ingle Shipbuilding. We are going to also work with William McElroy. We talked about imagining the possibilities of partnering with Ingles, not just in welding, but in building trades. We talk about partnering with them in vocational agriculture. Talk about how braiding and culinary arts, all those things can be, how even an adult education program could be there. And so if you have if this is your third or fourth career and you want to show up to learn how to braid so you can take better care of your family, you have a 3-year-old child, we talk about even possibly having a nursery on campus so that they can drop the child off and have a teacher assistant or a person employed in there to manage the kids for 2 hours, 2 or 3 days a week. And so there are so many possibilities. And I can tell you, as a little country boy, that nothing failed but a try. And we're going to try our level best. We've seen at first glimpse to have a winning partner from Ingalls. We've talked to 2, 3, 4 different people from Ingalls, and they would not have come to Jeff Davis had they not been serious about investing in our school district. We've seen what they've been able to do in the Pastor Boucher district. They've already indicated, I think the board has before you tonight a proposal from them after I'm finished talking to do the first step in receiving a donation of 30 booths. Dr. Hills, what's the number of booths that they? 30 booths, and so welding booths. So this has the potential to be a very lucrative partnership with us and Ingalls, and I for one am very excited about that. Very excited. We have had over 100 plus new cameras. We're concerned about safety of our children. I want to thank Dr. Hilton and her cooperation with Synergetics. We have had 100 plus cameras, and this is all funded through our Department of Justice grant. And so we want to make sure that we have the necessary cameras on all of our campuses to ensure the safety of our staff and students. And I want to remind everyone, we will talk a little bit about the handbook. Well, July 24th, we do expect all of our kids back, and hope our enrollment goes up. July 24th is the first day for school for the 23-24 school year. So everybody needs to be anxiously getting prepared to come back and begin the educational process all over again July 24 as we start our flex calendar for our school district. And last but not least, we want to thank Ms. Veronica Mars for all of the hard work that she has done over the last 30 plus years in this district, primarily as the board's clerk. I want to thank her for attention to detail, for being meticulous, and speaking truth to power every chance she got. I say that jokingly, but I also say it with a true, sincere heart as well. We had a tremendous, well attended with her sisters and brothers and family members in attendance. Going away, we had board members, Norwood, Thompson, Bird there that I remember, and I'm sure the other 2 board members were there in spirit, but they very well attended, as you can see, retired teachers, retired central office administrators and workers. What a joyful time, and I just want to remind Ms. Bean to enjoy her retirement. And so I yield back, Madam President, and I thank the board for the opportunity to superintend.
All righty, we've heard the superintendent's report. As always, my fellow board members, all reports have to be adopted into our notes, and so therefore we have item 4, item 7, and item 8 that we need to take a vote on. Do I have a motion to approve item 4, 7, and 8?
Madam President, I make a motion to adopt these items.
I do have a motion to adopt by Mr. Bobby. Do I have a second? I have a second by Ms. Bryant. Do we have any questions or concerns about the reports that we have heard this afternoon? If not, Ms. Nadine, how do you vote? Yes. Ms. Vaughn, how do you vote? Yes. Ms. Sherry, how do you vote? Yes. Mr. Bobby, how do you vote?
Yes.
And I vote yes. We do have 5 of 5 voting yes to approve items 4, 7, and 8. We are now down to item 9, English Shipbuilding Resource Recovery, Release, and I was gonna say that.
So here again, as a result of our hard work, and Engel Shipbuilding's willingness to help our district, this is, the board, the first step of the board accepting those 30 booths and they want to donate. The board, they want to donate 30 welding booths to the district. And so this is the opportunity for the board to release an indemnity, the acceptance of those welding booths for our must-needed welding booths for welding.
All right, we've heard that the superintendent's English shipyard wants to give the district some materials, products. Do I have a motion to approve item 9?
Madam Chair, make a motion to approve item 9.
Do I have a motion to approve item 9 by Ms. Vaughn? Do I have a second?
I say.
I have a second by Mr. Bobby. Do we have any questions or concerns about item 9? If not, let's bring it to a vote. Ms. Nadine, how do you vote? Ms. Vaughn, how do you vote?
Yes.
Ms. Sherry, how do you vote?
Yes.
Mr. Bobby, how do you vote?
Yes.
And I vote yes. We do have 5 of 5 voting yes to accept the products from English Shipyard. We are now down to item 10, our consent agenda. Our consent agenda goes through A through 35. 1 through 35. Do I have a motion to approve the agenda with the exception of item 10 being removed? I'm not 10, 18 being removed. Do I have a motion to approve our consent agenda? I have a motion to approve by Ms. Bryant. Do I have a second?
I say.
I got a second by Mr. Bobby. Do we have any questions or concerns about our consent agenda? If not, Ms. Nadine, how do you vote? Ms. Vaughn, how do you vote?
Yes.
Ms. Sherry, how do you vote?
Yes.
Mr. Bobby, how do you vote?
Yes.
And I vote yes. We do have 5 and 5 voting yes to approve the consent agenda. We are now down to item 11. Approval of tree cutting by Rick's Tree Service, and this was recommended by the superintendent. Do I have a motion to approve?
Madam President, I make a motion to approve the bid.
I do have a motion to approve the bid. Do I have a second to approve this bid? I do have a second by Ms. Vaughn Norwood. Do we have any questions or concerns about item 11? If not, Ms. Nadine, how do you vote?
Yes.
Ms. Vaughn, how do you vote?
Yes.
Ms. Sherry, how do you vote?
Yes.
Mr. Bobby, how do you vote?
Yes.
And I vote yes. We do have 5 of 5 approving item 11. We're now down to item 12, approval of motivational speaking by Ms. Kimberly Poole Biggs. Do I have a motion to approve? I got a motion to approve by Ms. Nadine Thompson. Do I have a second? I do have a second by Ms. Vaughn Norwood. Do we have any questions or concerns about item 12?
Madam President, just point of order is the information that's provided in the packet that's given to us is contradictory in the amount. It shows on one page $1,250 a day for 2 days, but yet the invoice is for $3,000. It does have a breakdown itemization of 3 days of training, on day 1, day 2, day 3. So,
That was the contract. However, she only did half a day
okay.
because of the time frame of the end of the year.
No, I understand. I just want to make sure that we vote on the contract that's presented to us for approval is $3,000 in one place. And then another place in the paperwork, it shows a different amount. So we just need to make sure that, my point of order is to make sure that we get the amount correct and not the copy of the contract that's in there.
What is it?
She only did half days, so she did a half a day on 1 day and a half a day on the next day. So it has been corrected by the superintendent and the assistant superintendent on what she should be paid.
It's showing you 2 days, 2 half days for. I just want to make sure we're voting on the right thing.
Fair approval?
Well, she's already.
Hold on, the board president is not gonna answer those questions. The business manager will, fair approval.
No, she was asking me a question. I was asking.
Okay, JD, no.
That's what I'm
Sorry.
It's okay.
So, I need to make sure I understand what you're asking first, so before we,
Okay, it shows here the professional fee is $12.50 a day for $37.50. And then in the invoice, it shows 2 days, $3,000.
That's the comparable quote. That's not her invoice. That's a comparable. That's another company. We had to have 2 quotes.
So we don't have an invoice or an
Yeah, the invoice is not in that. What you're looking at are the comparable quotes to approve her actual work. We have to have for federal programs 2 quotes that are in the same area. The only thing about the second one is they didn't add the 3rd day. They only gave us a quote for 2 days. Her quote was for 3, but her quote is less because their 2 days is $3,000 and her 3 days is $3,700.
Okay, but my question is, what are we approving?
You're approving her for those 3 days, but we're giving her 2. So you get an invoice on the next board where you would have to pay for the days that she accomplished. But you're approving the contract with her to do the services that are in that proposal for the 3 days.
Point of order. And I'm asking, this is a really a question. Are we approving the contract for her, or are we ratifying what she has already done? Because what I'm reading is an approval, but what I'm hearing is we're ratifying work that she's already done. Am I right?
What happened was when she first came before the board, she did a presentation on what her scope of work would be of service.
Okay.
She then performed the days before actually receiving approval of service.
So we're ratifying what she has already done.
Correct. So therefore, we're putting the proposal in front of you all to get it approved with the second quote that Mr. Bobby has the question by, only for the 2 days of half-day service that she's provided for us.
But we don't have an invoice. is what
No,
I'm saying.
we'll get the invoice for the June 29th meeting to get her paid.
So we need to table this to the June 29th.
No, we need approval of her proposal, which you all have in your board packet with the comparable, so that we can pay her for the 2 half days of service we've already received.
Okay. I'm fine with that.
All right, my fellow board members, are you all straight now? Can we bring this to a vote? Any more questions or concerns? Ms. Nadine, how do you vote? Ms. Vaughn, how do you vote? Ms. Sherry, how do you vote? Mr. Bobby, how do you vote?
No.
And I vote yes. We have this passed. We are now down to item 13, approval to transfer funds 2132 to 2133. I have a motion to approve by Ms. Vaughn. Do I have a second?
I say.
I have a second by Bobby. Do we have any questions or concerns about item 13? Not. Ms. Nadine, how do you vote? Ms. Vaughn, how do you vote? Ms. Sherry, how do you vote? Mr. Bobby, how do you vote?
Yes.
And I vote yes. We do have 5 of 5 voting yes to approve item 13. Approval to a revised final site agreement. Do I have a motion to approve? Got a motion to approve by Ms. Nadine. Do I have a second? Have a second by Ms. Vaughn. Do we have any questions or concerns about the final site agreement? concerns about the final site agreement? If not, Ms. Nadine, how do you vote?
Yes.
Ms. Vaughn, how do you vote?
Yes.
Mr. Bobby, how do you vote?
Yes.
Sherry, how do you vote?
Yes.
And I vote yes. We do have 5 of 5 voting yes to approve item 14. We are now down to item 15, approval of Cisco transceiver modules. Do I have a motion to approve?
Madam President, I make a motion to approve.
Got a motion to approve by Mr. Bobby. Do I have a second?
Second.
Got a second by Sherry. Do we have any questions or concerns? If not, Ms. Nadine, how do you vote?
Yes.
Ms. Vaughn, how do you vote?
Yes.
Ms. Sherry, how do you vote?
Yes.
And Mr. Bobby, how do you vote?
Yes.
And I do vote yes. We do have 5 of 5 voting yes to approve item 15. We are now down to item 16, approval of extended school year remediation and enrichment program. Do I have a motion to approve? Got a motion to approve by Vaughn. Do I have a second?
That's it.
Got a second by Ms. Nadine. Do we have any questions or concerns about the remediation program? If not, Ms. Nadine, how do you vote? Ms. Vaughn, how do you vote?
Yes.
Ms. Sherry, how do you vote?
Yes.
Mr. Bobby?
Yes.
And I vote yes. We have 5 of 5 voting yes for the remediation program. We are now down to item 17, approval to request the use of JVCMS grounds, football field, baseball field, and gym for the Prentice Youth Football Organization. Do I have a motion to approve? Got a motion to approve by Ms. Vaughn Norwood. Do I have a second? Got a second by Ms. Nadine Thompson. Do we have any questions or concerns about the approval of Jefferson Davis County Middle School? If not, Ms. Nadine, how do you vote?
Yes.
Ms. Vaughn, how do you vote?
Yes.
Mr. Bob, Ms. Sherry, how do you vote?
Yes.
Mr. Bobby, how do you vote?
Yes.
And I vote yes. We do have 5 of 5 approving item 17. We are now down to approval of item 18, approval of officers to work summer school for security.
Motion to approve item 18.
I got a motion to approve by Ms. Vaughn. Do I have a second?
That's it.
Got a second by Mr. Bobby. Do we have any questions or concerns about item 18? If not, Ms. Vaughn, how do you vote?
Yes.
Ms. Nadine, how do you vote? Ms. Sherry, how do you vote?
Yes.
Mr. Bobby, how do you vote?
Yes.
And I vote yes. We do have 5 of 5 voting yes to approve item 18. Approval of payment application for window, HVAC, and plumbing renovation by M3A.
Motion to approve item 19.
Got a motion to approve by Ms. Vaughn. Do I have a second?
That's it.
Got a second by Ms. Nadine. Do we have any questions or concerns? Ms. Nadine, how do you vote? Ms. Vaughn, how do you vote? Ms. Sherry, how do you vote?
Yes.
And Mr. Bobby, how do you vote?
Yes.
And we have 5 of 5 voting yes to approve item 19. We are now down to item 20, superintendent's actions. Section 37-9-14, personnel hire. Do I have a motion to approve?
Make a motion to approve.
Got a motion to approve. Do I have a second? Got a second by Ms. Nadine Thompson. Do we have any questions or concerns about item 20? Mr. Bobby, you have the floor.
I would just, it's a standalone item, and it has a resume, what are we hiring for?
Well, here was
I mean,
a,
that way he's already an employee this year.
right, it was a unique situation where, we needed a softball coach after, Coach Foster stepped aside. We had an opportunity to hire a bachelor high graduate degree assistant coach, of the softball team. Was highly sought after by, Paris Central School District 1. And the reason that I went on and hired him then was because of the need to have basic softball tryouts.
I get it. I didn't know that they were in transition. He didn't say what he was hired for.
Head girls softball.
All right. Any more questions? I'm sorry. Any more questions or concerns? Ms. Nadine, how do you vote? Ms. Vaughn, how do you vote?
Yes.
Ms. Sherry, how do you vote?
Yes.
Mr. Bobby, how do you vote?
Yes.
And I vote yes. We do have 5 of 5 approving item 20. We are now down to item 21, personnel resignations. I got a motion to approve by Ms. Vaughn. Do I have a second? Got a second by Ms. Bryant. Do we have any questions or concerns about our personnel resignations? If not, Ms. Nadine, how do you vote? Ms. Vaughn, how do you vote?
Yes.
Ms. Sherry, how do you vote?
Yes.
Mr. Bobby, how do you vote?
Yes.
And I vote yes. We do have 5 of 5 voting yes to approve the resignations. We are now down to item 22, Approval of request to rescind a resignation.
It's she, that's you.
No, I wish. Lord knows I do. But anyway. They late down short. Ms. Nadine? Oh, do I have a motion to approve? Every time we talk about she like get caught off guard.
Yes, I'll make a motion to approve.
Got a motion to approve by Mr. Bobby. Do I have a second?
I second.
Got a second by Ms. Lund. Do we have any questions or concerns about item 22? Ms. Nadine, how do you vote? Ms. Bond, how do you vote?
Yes.
Ms. Sherry, how do you vote?
Yes.
Mr. Bobby, how do you vote?
Yes.
And I vote yes. We do have approval to request to rescind the resignation, so she's back hired. We're now down to item 23. Hold on 1 second. Ooh, I gotta pass my gavel. You gotta have it. And I'm gonna recruit myself. Mr. Bobby, you have the gavel. I'm gonna step out and recruit myself. Ms. Nadine, you didn't have to recruit yourself. That's my mom.
Not this.
Board members of the president, having recused herself from the vote of item 23, I have a motion to approve item 23 is presented.
I make a motion to approve.
Motion made by Ms. Vaughn, do I have a second?
A second.
Second by Ms. Thompson, sorry. Any questions or comments? Concerns? It's two items of personnel recommendations and those letters that were sent out to us earlier. Good. Ms. Thompson, how do you vote?
Yes.
Ms. Sherry, how do you vote? Ms. Vaughn, yes. I vote yes as well. 4-0 pass. Madam President, you may return. Back to you.
All righty.
Unanimous. Unanimous.
Look at you. We are now down. I'm shocked because normally they think we will have to be recruited. All right, guys, you ready? We are now down to item 24. Approval of student transfer expectation. This is a teacher that's already out of the district and she wants to take her children with her. Am I correct? All righty. Do I have a motion to approve?
Madam President, I make a motion to approve.
I do have a motion to approve by Mr. Bobby. Do I have a second?
Second.
Do we have a second by Ms. Sherry? Do we have any questions or concern? Any questions or concerns about item 24? If not, Ms. Nadine, how do you vote?
Yes.
Ms. Vaughn, how do you vote? Ms. Sherry, how do you vote? Mr. Bobby, how do you vote?
Yes.
And I vote yes. We do have 5 of 5 voting yes for item 24. I'd like to ask you, Ms. Hayes, how do you vote? I don't know, it just like it came out. We are now down to item 25, approval of claims. You vote yes. Please pay those. All right. Do I have a motion to approve our claims for item 25? I got a motion to approve item 25. Do I have a second? That was by Ms. Vaughn, I'm sorry. Do I have a second? I got a second by Ms. Nadine. Do we have any questions or concerns about our claims for this month? Claims. If, mine's too. If not, Ms. Nadine, how do you vote?
Yes.
Ms. Vaughn, how do you vote? Ms. Sherry, how do you vote? Mr. Bobby, how do you vote?
Yes.
And I vote yes. We do have 5 of 5 voting yes to approve our claims. We are now down to item 26, personnel salary matters.
You skipped
24A, I'm sorry.
That's
So,
fine. That's all right.
I I didn't write it down.
It's okay.
Gosh,
17.
It's
18. It was approval of contract services for Jefferson Davis County School District, opening convocation, summer and breakout sessions. Do I have a motion to approve item 18? R18. I got a motion to approve by Ms. Bun Norwood. Do I have a second? Ms. Lott, I'm gonna slow down. Do you have that for your notes? I do apologize about skipping item 24A. I got a second by Ms. Nadine Thompson. This is 24A. That's gonna be R8. 18. R18. In consent agenda. All right, we have any questions or concerns about item R18? I did have did you get your motion and second?
This convocation and breakout sessions. He's a national speaker. Let me speak louder.
Yeah, Madam President, my concern, I have a point of order.
We had the motion and the
Second, yeah, I have a
second.
point of order.
Point of order, what's your point?
Right. So, $8,000 is a lot of money to pay anybody. Personal note, I couldn't pay $200 a minute to see anybody speak, or hear anybody speak, but I just think we can use $8,000 for our teachers in a lot better way than to pay $8,000 for somebody to come speak for 45 minutes. And I know there's a breakout session that is going to be individually, with them, I think, up to an hour and a half. $8,000, that's just my concern, the cost. I know he may be a great speaker, and I know there are a lot of great speakers out there, and I know speakers cost money, but my personal view as a board member is that we could better serve our teachers than $8,000 for a additional speaker. Thank you, Madam President.
All righty. Do we have any more questions or concerns about item 24A?
Mr. Hanson, you gonna testify?
Yes, ma'am. I will speak to it. This is as has been my, I won't say style, my leadership direction. Things I like to do is bring in national speakers. This is what we've done all the way back to Dr. Dundee Abiki and others. We've sought out the best in the country to come and share with our staff. We desire to have our teachers as motivated as possible, to have the best for them, and to have them gain some momentum going into 23 and 24 school year. Our teachers will come back. We hope to just give them the spotlight on them, and I feel like, just like we've done with Dr. Dick and others, where you all have been there and been able to see, these speakers do have a great impact on not only on our teachers, but also on all of our instructional staff as well as the rest of the board. I want to thank you all and for your previous time that you spent with the teachers in the trenches when we're kicking off our school year. As you all recognize, we do have the summer convocation. Then we come back again as part of my leadership program. We have a mid-year and winter convocation as well. I think that to get a national speaker of this person's reputation and accomplishments to come to our district and to not only do the session, the group session, but also to do 2 breakout sessions at school. And these highly sought after national speakers, they have a price tag associated with them. But I think that given what we've all been able to see with Dr. Dickey and others, there is a very profound impact on our staff getting off to a good start. I don't want to downgrade or minimize the importance of a great kickoff.
How long are the two breakout sessions?
The two breakout sessions are at an hour here at both elementary schools, and they are at least an hour, hour and a half.
Okay, I'll 5 to 2 hours. For one city. I think my statement would be, if the board agrees tonight, I think we did really get a good deal because just his virtual, did you all see how much his virtual keynote speaking is on his handout? So do we have any more questions or concerns for superintendent about?
There's one other thing I can say about it is that I think it's really good. The price is $8,000 for.
But it's including everything.
But it's not just for the convocation, it's also for the breakout session that he's going to do at 2 elementary schools. And so we have been beneficiaries of having, and our teachers, most of all, have been beneficiaries of having great renowned national people come in to share ideas, best practices with it. And the board has been witnesses to this in the past of what type of momentum and what type of vibe is in that room. And I don't expect anything less from Mr. Boyd than we had with Dr. Dickey, that you all witnessed, and other speakers that we had at convocation. And also, every year, we can't go back and say we had Dr. Dickey 2 years ago. We can't go back and say who we had last year. Each year, each kickoff is a new beginning, and that's the way I approach it.
Right. And let's not put out into the atmosphere that it's just him speaking. This is covering the entire trip. So I want that to be known as well. So now, because that makes sense, like aircraft fare, car rental, meals, all that is not just him speaking. All right, and so just for him to speak virtually is $7,500. Other districts are paying that. All right, but we're not other districts, so we're gonna bring this thing to a vote. I did have a motion and a second, correct? All right, do we have any more questions or concerns about our convocation? All right, Ms. Nadine, how do you vote? Yes. Ms. Vaughn, how do you vote? Ms. Sherry, how do you vote? Ms. Vaughn, coming back to you, how do you vote? Mr. Bobby, how do you vote? No. And I vote yes. We do have 3 of 5 voting yes to approve our convocation of speaker for the District of July 24. All right, we are now down to item 26, personnel salary matters, closed session. Do I have a motion to go into closed session?
Madam President, I make a motion to go into closed session.
I do have a motion to go into closed I'm sorry, Mr. Bobby.
That's okay.
I do have a motion to go into closed session about personnel salary matters. Do I have a second? Second to go into closed session? Do I have a second?